Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Kitten Box by Jim Blow.
Kitten Box is an unusual game, theme-wise anyhow, in which you are trying to help a kitten get inside of a cardboard box, because we all know kittens love cardboard boxes. You are going to be using your mind to piece together a puzzle that's out in front of all the players. You can't actually touch the pieces until it's time to put your plan into action. You're going to draw up your plan on your game board, figuring out how to put these boxes in a position to where the cat will jump into the box. It'll make much more sense when I explain it to you down below, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on this game from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. All right, here's Kitten Box from Jim Blow on the table here. Let me explain how this spatial puzzle game works, in which you are going to be trying to help this little kitten right here. And this is a miniature that's not resin or plastic. It's kind of a different, harder material. I'm not exactly sure what material it's made from, but very adorable. And you are trying to get this kitten inside of both of these cardboard boxes, and you need one box inside of the other so that the kitten can jump inside the box. And if you can do that in as few moves as possible, as quick as possible, then you will likely win the game. Now, how this game works: the setup for this game, you're going to have your board out here like so, and you have a deck of cards. Now these cards come in two different varieties. You have the white cards and you have the blue cards. And I believe the blue cards are harder. They're more difficult to figure out than the white cards, or at least that's been my experience playing through the game. I'll explain to you guys how you set the game up based on this card. So the card is going to give you a grid showing you where the kitten is supposed to be and where the two boxes are supposed to be, using an XY coordinates here. So your couch right here is going to show you where on this side of the board you're to look, and then the window right here shows you where on this side of the board you're to look. And so the kitten is going to be on the row that has the remote control. So here's the row with the remote control. And this column shows you the column that you are supposed to place the kitten in. So the column with the watering bucket, which is going to be this one. So the kitten is going to go right there. And our boxes are going to go on those spots. So the pillow and the cat scratch board, or whatever you call it, right there. And that's the bigger box too. And you can tell the difference between the color as well as the direction of the tape line. Horizontal for the big box, vertical for the little box. And our little box is going to go with the mouse and the catnip. And so our little box will go right here. Now that we are set up, we're ready to begin. And how this game works: on the count of three, all players are going to have their own personal board that resembles the game board here. And they are going to draw a path to move these boxes in order to get the little box inside the big box, and getting both boxes in a spot that's adjacent to the kitten in the cardinal directions: up, down, left, right. You can't have the boxes be diagonal from the cat. The cat won't be able to jump into the box that way. And so each player has a dry erase marker as well. And so I would probably write C for cat right here, and I would probably have a big box drawn on this spot and a little box drawn on this spot. And now we're ready to begin. And so on the count of three, all players would draw a path on how they are going to move these boxes. Now, the way the boxes move, you're not actually manipulating the pieces as you're drawing your path. The pieces have to stay where they are, but the way they're going to move, it's important that you understand that. You have to roll the boxes. So if I want this box to go here, I have to roll it in that direction. If I want it to go this way, I have to roll it in that direction. If I want to go right here, I have to roll it in that direction. So you can see how you have to visualize where you're going to be moving these boxes in order to get the boxes to go into one another. Now, in order to get the little box to go inside the big box, you have to have, it's probably easier if I have the demonstration this way to the camera, you have to have
the little box roll into the opening of the big box so that both openings are on the same side. In other words, I need to roll the bottom into the opening here like so that it goes inside the box. And now that I have both boxes together, I can roll them together and move them as one. And again, you're trying to get the boxes face up next to the kitten so that the kitten can jump inside the two boxes, and that is how you win the game. I'm drawing that on my board here, showing this would be the box moving in that direction, and then the box would be upside down, and so on and so forth. I would be drawing these shapes on my board, trying to find a way to get them to work out. Now, when I think I have my plan, if I'm the first player, I grab this sand timer and I flip it over, and that gives all the other players that much time to finish their plan. If they don't have a plan finished before the timer runs out, then they don't have a plan to try to work it out on the board. If I am the person who gets to flip the sand timer, I write a 1 right here as I was the first person. And every other player after me, if they finish, then they're going to write what place they finished in, second, third, fourth. And then we are going to put our plan into action. Whatever plan I come up with on my board, I put it out here, counting the number of turns I take moving the boxes around to get to the cat to jump in. However many turns I end up with, I write that number right here. And then it goes on to the next player, and they will enact their plan and write however many turns it took for them to make their plan work. Whoever ends up coming with a plan with the fewest moves possible is the winner for that round, and they get to take the challenge card to show that they've won that round. And the number of players you play with determines how many cards you need to win the game. 2 players, you would win the game if you can get to 5 cards first. You can see how it breaks out for higher player games. There is a way to play this game solo. You are just going to give yourself a pile of 10 challenge cards and flip them over, trying to solve them as fast as possible with the sand timer counting your time down. And if you have more than 6 challenge cards at the end of the game, you win. I can tell you that the solo mode is extremely difficult. It is very difficult to be able to beat the sand timer and figuring out these cards. And so it's a fun challenge, though. But there you have it. That is the rules for Kitten Box. Let's go back to up top and share our thoughts on this one.
And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Kitten Box from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. So Sam, first impressions, seeing this out on the table, what went through your mind?
It's very minimal. I mean, there's not much of a setup at all.
Yep.
It's a unique idea, kittens, boxes.
Sure.
And I like puzzles. I like using that part of your brain where you have to think, okay, I need to do this and then I need to do that. I enjoy that. So I thought that this would probably be a good game for me.
Okay. For me, the components for this game are outstanding. I mean, you don't have much. I mean, you only have a kitten miniature and the 2 cardboard boxes, but what you do have with that are really cool. I mean, the kitten is a fantastic little kitten. The cardboard boxes, I don't know that I'd ever would say, that's an awesome cardboard box, but that's an awesome cardboard box. It looks like a cardboard box. It really works. For me, that is really eye-catching. And it's great that because this is such an odd theme, realistic theme, but yet odd for it to be a board game, that the components match up to that oddness of the theme, if that makes sense. That's not a letdown, in other words. I do enjoy that aspect of it. For you as a non-gamer, what was it like playing this game?
I'll have to tell you, it was a lot more frustrating than I expected it to be. I wasn't very good at it. And overall, I just don't think it was as great of a game for me as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
How come?
I couldn't figure it out. The flipping of the box, and I am dyslexic, so, and we play it with my brother who's also dyslexic.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was part of it, but having to figure out in your mind what that box looks like every time you turn it.
It's not easy.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
My brain just could not. You really have to be very visual.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just not me.
And I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horn and say that I am that way, but I do think I am maybe a little bit more than you are.
Yeah.
And I did not experience that same frustration that you did. Because for me, my ability to kind of make it work on the page translated to actually making it work on the board. And that didn't happen for everybody else.
I think it would have been different if everyone was given their own individual board. I needed to touch it. I couldn't just look at it and think, okay, when we go this many spaces, so this is what the box is going to look like, and then that box will go into that box. I needed to mess with it and play with it, which I don't think is really encouraged.
No, it's against the spirit of the game.
Yeah. So I think maybe it would have been a different game if everyone had their own individual
That's interesting.
board, and you still could say, hey, I got it in, you have a time limit, and you say, I got it in this many moves.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think... Yeah, that would create a different experience altogether with the game for sure. As it is, you don't have that with this game. You just have the one board.
So you just have to kind of look at it.
And you really, it's all up here.
Yeah.
And so it is a cerebral kind of game. And that's not going to work for everybody. Yeah. I don't know that it's necessarily a gamer or non-gamer kind of thing, though. What do you think on that?
No, it's a personality thing, or how
psychological
thing.
Thing.
How your brain works. And some people, this just isn't it. There's nothing wrong with that. But just going into it, I think you need to know it is very visual, but visual in a sense that you have to make it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it also being a real-time game with the time limit, that makes it hard. Real-time games aren't typically my cup of tea either. So yeah,
I think this is going to be a kind of game that you're going to find that the type of person that does well is going to exceed and probably be the person who wins the game.
Because there's nothing difficult about understanding the game.
No.
It's very easy to understand. It's very quick, but it's just going to be is it your game or isn't it?
Yeah. So pros and cons with Kitten Box. What were the things that stood out to you in a positive way?
I mean, good components, very easy to understand, very easy to play, and very quick. So I think it's good. It's a very good game for non-gamers because it's easy to understand and quick to play. You can play it once, and if they don't love it, put it away, or you can play it a couple times.
Okay.
And I think it's enough thinking for a gamer to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that at some point in this video, that I do think it's not too light, that a gamer's going to look at this and be like, I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah.
Because you still have to really use your brain with this game. A different way of using your brain, but you absolutely have to use your brain power to do well in this. What didn't work for you?
I think for me personally, the real-time aspect of it, but I can see how gamers or other people in general may like that, because waiting on someone to make those decisions could prolong the game quite a bit. So I understand the real-time aspect of it. It's just not my favorite. And then the inability to touch things as you're making your plan, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, so just didn't work for you. Yeah. All right, so scale of 1 to 10, love to hate for Kitten Box. I'm going to go first if that's all right. I tend to do this whenever I know my score is going to be higher than Sam's. I like to get mine out there quick. I did enjoy this game. It's my kind of jam. I enjoy these kind of cerebral, spatial, have to think and visualize it in my head type games. That really just works for me. And because of that, this is so unique too. It was a quite enjoyable experience for me. It is a bummer that I didn't feel like it worked as well for more people at the table, so that tempers it a little bit for me. But as it is, I think it's about a 7.5 for me on this one. I do enjoy it.
I really just had such a difficult time with this game. I really don't want to play it again just because I don't think I'm going to get better at it.
Okay.
So for me personally, and maybe I should do, for gamers or for non-gamers in general, I'd probably rate it a little higher. For me personally, though, it's probably a 6.1.
Okay. Yeah. Just not something that meshes well with you, huh?
Yeah, but I can see it as a higher score for a non-gamer that just can mentally do it better than I can.
Okay. So. Yeah. So in other words, not necessarily anything wrong with the game. It's just not your type of game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there you have it, guys. That's our thoughts on Kitten Box. It is from Jim Blow. Go check it out. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think about this one.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.